Hey, Scarefest fans, this is Joe Lewis of Bonehead Weekly back again for another week. It's really tough. Now, there's a ton of horror films out there. There's some that are old and ancient that I could urge you to see, but most of you have already seen them. There are some forgotten gems, and I've tried to do that a couple of times on here. I have had a criticism leveled at me that I kind of agree with, but don't tell Meredith Blackwell I said that. Here's the criticism. I don't tell you where to find these movies. In fact, normally I'd never even mention any of that. Well, the problem is that I have cable, other things. Well, I have a satellite dish. It doesn't matter. Anyway, I DVR them. I catch them. There's certain things I want to watch, certain things I don't want to watch. Be honest about it, I don't even pay for Shudder. I know a lot of you all do. I know a lot of you all have Amazon Prime. You have Netflix. Where can you see some of these? I've gotten a couple of Netflix ones. The other issue is that you once again are still stuck at home with your family, and you may be looking for some things that you can watch with your family. I did this a few weeks ago with another film. Well, this isn't a movie. This is something that I'd not forgotten about, but I hadn't really watched in a long time. Chad Jennings of Bonehead brought it back to my attention. I recommend Tales from the Cryptkeeper. Now, you know what Tales from the Crypt is. Tales from the Cryptkeeper was the animated version of that. It basically only ran 3 seasons. 2 seasons were in 93 and 94, 13 episodes apiece, so not a huge run for cartoons. Some of those 80s cartoons that you remember had seasons of 30, 60 episodes. We talked about an obscure one the other day on Bonehead, Brave Star. Had 60-some episodes for one season. It only had 13 episodes each season. It was eventually canceled. They brought it back in 1999. It was originally on ABC and in Canada. But they brought it back in 1999 with CBS for another 13 episodes. And what it was, the first season was basically your Tales from the Crypt. It was a little close. I wouldn't say it's a little closer, but some of the animation is a little darker. If you've seen EC Comics, if you know what EC Comics are, they were these cool comics that had the Crypt Keeper and the Witch, and they were like the Vault of Horror and Tales from the Crypt and several different ones. And they all came from William Gaines. If you don't know who William Gaines is, take a second, Google it. Fantastic, interesting guy. Went on to do a little thing called Mad Magazine. He's one of those people that they've tried to make a movie about over the years and they haven't. Tales from the Crypt Keeper is like that. If you enjoyed Tales from the Crypt as an adult and you thought, I'd like to watch this with my kids, but geez, there's a lot of blood on breasts, and you'd like less of that, then Tales from the Crypt Keeper is pretty good. I actually think that it may be a little too dark or a little too edgy with the animation for some under 4 or 5. I tried showing it to my almost 3-year-old. He's a little scared at a couple of things. But if you're looking for something, it's on Tubi. It's also on Amazon, but Tubi is free. So I recommend for you to download Tubi. If you have an Amazon Fire Stick, Roku, what have you, it has commercials on it. Check out Tubi, and if you need something to watch with your kids, once again, I recommend Tales from the Crypt Keeper. Same kind of premise. Crypt Keeper introduces the episode. There's sometimes a couple of stories. There's always a twist at the end. Same kind of premise, but it's a cartoon, and it's a little dark. Second season, they tried to change it up. They brought in this witch who's always competing with them, and the other guy, the Vault, I can't remember his name. Doesn't matter. This week, I highly recommend, if you've never seen it, once again, you can get it on Tubi for free, Meredith. Won't cost you a dime. Just have to watch some commercials. Tales from the Crypt Keeper. This has been Joe Lewis. Thank you so much. Keep tuning in. And if you're interested in Tales from the Crypt, we may have done some Bonehead about it. So tune in to Bonehead too and subscribe and share that with your friends. Thank you. Good night.